To build muscle with calisthenics, you don't need tons of exercises, just 5 basics progressed with passion. Pull-ups, dips, rows, push-ups, and one final exercise that will transform your body. If you want a massive back and athletic upper body strength, pull-ups are hard to beat. This old school back builder has been featured in nearly every training program since the dawn of time. Do pull-ups consistently and expect to pack on muscle in your lats, upper back, and build some bigger biceps too. However, if you just focused on pull-ups instead of messing around on the lat pull-down machine, your physique would probably look way better this way. When doing pull-ups just a few times per week like it's your damn job, you're going to have so much muscle mass on your back that you're going to need a new wardrobe of XL clothes to contain the gains. For maximum results, use a full range of motion. Dead hang at the bottom, chin above the bar at the top, every single rep. When solid technique is combined with real training effort, taking those sets to failure and progressing each workout, your body, it has no choice but to grow. The relative strength gains from calisthenics are the true reward. Pull-ups improve your pound for pound strength. Being able to move your body with grace while looking like a jacked gorilla is a really epic combo. Dips are honestly one of the most underrated muscle building calisthenics exercises. For growing the chest, shoulders, and triceps, you're unlikely to find anything better. When an exercise gets called the squat of the upper body, you know it's worth taking seriously. Even bodyweight dips alone will challenge most of you watching for years. Until you can do sets of 20 to 30 deep dips, you have enormous room to improve. You gotta raise your standards, man. And the journey with dips never really ends, because once bodyweight becomes easy, you start adding weight. 1 plate, 2 plate, 3 plate dips at every step of heavyweight calisthenics. You're not going to recognize the changes in your physique. Expect thicker triceps, plump pecs, shoulder striations that start popping out everywhere. Now, for best results on your dips, you want to aim down for 90 degrees range of motion, and you want to lock out each rep. With practice, your shoulder mobility is going to improve, and the exercise won't be as uncomfortable as your body adapts. Why I love dips so much is they don't just pack on muscle mass, they build transferable pushing strength, better bench press, stronger overhead press, and more stability for total body control. But dips aren't for everyone, especially not pencil necks. They're exhausting, especially when you train with real effort, which is exactly why most people avoid them. While everyone complains about staying small and weak, you're going to quietly put your head down, grind away on dips, and reap the gains. Even if you're already strong at pull-ups, don't sleep on rows. These are often mistaken as a beginner exercise in calisthenics because people assume that horizontal pulling is somehow easy compared to pull-ups until they actually train them properly. Don't underestimate the power of high rep rows, my friend. Sets of 15 to 30 reps with real intensity, it's going to pump your back and biceps for serious hypertrophy. High rep sets to failure are even more effective when done after pull-ups when you're training in that fatigue state. That's a pro tip right there. From an aesthetics point of view, rows are going to target those missing angles that pull-ups alone won't fully develop. People really underestimate how effective rowing movements are for building that juicy mass. It's just not as cool of an exercise in calisthenics. That's why all we see is pull-ups, and more pull-ups. Because if you use a neutral grip on those rows, expect your forearms to start looking yoked as well. Especially that often neglected brachioradialis, which gives the arms that thick, powerful look. One of the best things about inverted rows is how scalable they are. You can progressively overload calisthenics movements with a little know-how just like this. For longevity, rows are one of the best things that you can do for your body to improve overall symmetry, posture, and shoulder health. As amazing as pull-ups are for building up your back, I love pull-ups. I can't imagine a life without them. We still want a body that's equally strong in horizontal rowing as well. After all, the name of the game is about being healthy so we can continue training into our 80s. I'm going to be that dude that's doing calisthenics in the nursing home. I'm not leaving any of that to chance because rows help balance out all that pressing and vertical pulling volume that's elsewhere in your routine. Rowing, it gives you that scapular control that you need to stay healthy and strong. You'll be pleased to hear there's a nice carryover to your pull-up performance as well. This is because rows work most of the same muscle groups. Promise me one thing. Don't treat rows as something that you just rush through mindlessly at the end of a workout. Instead, treat them like a primary exercise. Everything that is in your routine should be approached with progressive overload in mind. Do that, and you're not going to be average. Guys, I've spent the last 17 years figuring out calisthenics so that you don't have to waste time with trial and error. I'm going to help you unlock your potential with bodyweight training over at fitnessfaqs.com. Head over there and get your new routine. All right, let's talk push-ups. For the upper body, this is one of the most accessible calisthenics exercises on the planet. If I had only 15 minutes in my day to do just something for my health, I would literally drop down to the floor, pump out push-ups until I can't move. High volume sets and reps on push-ups are something that calisthenics bros have used forever to build muscle without weights. Just spend enough time outdoors in parks and you're going to see these absolutely jacked guys cranking out crazy numbers on push-ups. And yeah, the intensity might be lower compared to heavy bench pressing, but the sheer amount of volume on these push-ups is what drives growth. That's got to be one of the biggest secrets in building muscle with calisthenics. However, I invite you to try archer push-ups for a further challenge. This turns things into a unilateral movement, great for improving size and strength symmetry between left and right sides. You'll be reaching failure after only a handful of reps, which makes things much more efficient compared to endurance sets. Another way of making any push-up harder is by training at a deficit. By elevating the hands, you can sink deeper into shoulder extension and get that nasty stretch through the pecs. Get ready to be humbled by just those extra few centimeters, but it's all good stuff. Because deficit push-ups, they make your shoulders more mobile, and these deep push-ups, they carry over to more comfortable dips. Listen to me. You don't need 50 different chest exercises on all these expensive machines to confuse the muscle or for variety is the spice of life. Just choose a push-up variation that matches your current level. Train hard, progress, and the results will compound. The basics, they never stop working, but you have to take them seriously. Your level of jackness is correlated with how much effort that you're pouring into mastering these fundamentals. Welcome the muscle up. These are the clean and jerk of calisthenics. They combine a pull-up and dip into one. Wait a second, you thought exercise 5 was going to be pistol squats or something. Come on, mate. Bodyweight training shines for making that upper body jacked. Let's talk about what we all care about and save the leg training stuff for another video. On a muscle up, you're flying up and over the bar, overcoming gravity with nothing but your own strength. It's truly the gateway drug in calisthenics. For my beginners, use a band and let's get to work. Using just a little bit of assistance lowers the intensity so you can successfully complete the full movement as you get stronger. All right, no one's saying that the muscle up is the best for hypertrophy or becoming bodybuilder big, as you can't fully exhaust the pull-up or dip with a combination exercise. But there's more to health and fitness than purely building muscle, which I guess is what draws you to bodyweight training in the first place. Muscle ups being genuinely fun to train is one of the biggest reasons there's such an effective way to build a capable body through calisthenics. When you truly enjoy what you do, you naturally train harder and you put more effort into each set. You're going to be filled with endless motivation and have a willingness to do a ridiculous amount of training because of this insatiable hunger for the process itself. This is the hidden power of muscle ups. They make training addictive. When exercise stops feeling like something that you have to do and instead becomes something that you get to do, this feeling, this joy, is something that I can't wait for everyone to experience. And when you keep doing calisthenics consistently, getting jacked is guaranteed. But the people that make the best progress, they all have one thing in common. They keep watching Fitness FAQs videos. Click, click.